I'm going to cut right to the chase with the Red Wing toe armor. I don't recommend it. As you can see, it's already flaking off the caps of the toes of these boots. I put on 3 coats of this stuff. If you choose to watch this video, you'll see the application process. It took me 3 days to ensure that this stuff was adhering properly. And after a week's use of hardware of these boots, it was first shotgun deer season. It was a snowy season, and I was hiking up ravines. I was crawling around a fair amount. I'm a clumsy son of a bitch, and these things have just not held up very well. The boots themselves are getting kind of worn out as it is, and I was hoping that this toe armor would be able to add an extra level of protection. And it did help keep my toes dry on a practical level, but it's already starting to flake and it looks pretty bad. As you'll see by the time I put on this 3rd coat, and I'm fairly careful about it, it looks pretty good when I'm all done. But after a week's worth of hard wearing, it's already starting to flake. I typically don't want to recommend an item that's going to require constant maintenance or putting on an indefinite number of coats when each coat's going to make it thicker. And that's what you're going to have to do with this toe armor stuff, is you're just going to always have to be touching it up if you want it to look nice. If you don't care at all about how it will look on your boots, then sure, yeah, it'll work fine. So like, let's say you've got an absolute beater pair of boots for like doing, I don't know, road work or something. Then this toe armor will at least keep the toes from getting completely worn out. But if you're at all concerned about the aesthetics, the pebbled rubber appearance looks great once you first apply it, but then afterwards, after I would say even moderate wear, it starts to flake in the heavy use areas. So I don't recommend this. This is Red Wing toe armor. I normally very strongly recommend Red Wing products. The 2 boot reviews I have up right now of Red Wing boots are very positive. Both the Brogue Rangers and the 8138s are awesome boots. Love them. Love Red Wing. But this toe armor stuff that they have is not up to their standards. So there you go. That's what I would have to say about toe armor straight away. If you want to see the process of applying this product, to these boots, and if maybe I'm doing something wrong, I'm pretty sure I did, and I followed the directions which are right on the product very carefully. You can see for yourself. But anyway, I appreciate you viewing this video, and please subscribe if you want more reviews and gear tests. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Red Wing toe armor to apply an extra layer of rubberized protection to your boots. All the information you'll need for this process is on the packaging that the toe armor comes with. I'm specifically applying this to help waterproof the caps of my toes in my boots. I'll be applying the toe armor to a pair of old Coleman boots that I have. The toe armor comes with everything that you need: the polyurethane rubber, a stirring stick, a dauber with a cloth tip which is fuzzy, as well as some rough sandpaper so that you can rough out the leather before you apply the toe armor. The toes on my boots are already fairly rough, so I'm not going to spend too much time sanding them. You can see that the leather has taken on a very rough texture as a result of the sanding. After you've roughed out the leather on the caps of your boots, Red Wing recommends that you put some tape where you want the line to be at the end of the toe cap. Opening up the container, you'll find that the sealant is very viscous and very dark. So be very careful when you're opening it that you don't spill accidentally. Go ahead and stir it up. You'll find that the rubber bits are at the bottom, and so it's going to take a fair amount of stirring to get them mixed in to the upper mixture. You'll start seeing them come at the top so that the surface no longer breaks smoothly but is textured. Red Wing recommends that the first coat you put on is very thin and that you apply a second coat. So I've simply dipped the dauber into the container enough to get a even coat on the tip of the dauber. Applying the polyurethane to the end of the boot, you get a smelly and kind of mixed texture as you put it on. The dauber is retaining its shape fairly well, and so it should be very straightforward getting this coat on evenly. It is possible to get the first coating fairly even, and just a reminder, this polyurethane does smell pretty strongly, so I would recommend doing this in your garage or in a well-ventilated room. I applied the toe armor all the way down the leather and over the rubber lowers, just so that there aren't any exposed seams. Once you're done, you just need to make sure that the toe armor container is closed up and your shoes are in a place where they'll be able to dry. The messiest part of this project for me was definitely the cleanup, so make sure you clean up the dauber as well as your container before you put it all away. Alright, a day later, the toe armor has dried on the boots. It's still semi-transparent and definitely needs another coat. I'm going to be putting a second coat on. I'm also going to be taping the soles of the shoes because it did drip down a little bit on the side there, as you can see, and I don't think that looks very good. I'm going to clean that up probably with just a razor and then tape the soles so that that second coat doesn't drip down as much. I'm still going to put the toe guard on the seams, however, so I'll show you how that looks. So here we are with the second application of toe armor dried on the boot. As you can see, it's definitely more black now. I can still see a little bit of brown through, so I'm going to put a third coat on, and there's definitely plenty in here to do that. Okay, here we are after our third coating of toe armor. Now the toe armor is completely black, and I've taken the tape off both at the top of the toe box as well as on the rubber lower, and looks pretty clean. Seems like the look is pretty good overall. Not flaking, still has a little bit of give. It's not hard. The crumb is fairly even but not perfect. You can see one spot here where when I was peeling the tape off, it just took a little extra off. One other thing you can notice is on the back side, I can play with it a little bit and lift it up. That might be a long-term problem. There are some complaints online of this flaking. I'll be doing a little field testing tomorrow with these actually, so we'll see how that goes.